holding Zion, page 267. Two 267 Zion. Yesh mishom she'en yochol litlo im halulav b'shel shu yotze bo yedei chovoso. You should not take the arova together with the lulav when you being yotze yechiv of lulav ad she'achi vorach yitov yenaneh tchilo. Until you've actually you menaneh the lulav v'im not la'ovim mishum bal tosif. Vachen ninu arishon, after you've waved the first time, that's after when you yotze the mitzvah initially. Yochol litlo im halulav. Koshkim shasakofa, when we go around the bima, we encircle the bima. V'aval pi shemash kosev shim netola ovim mishum bal tosif. Tos beina, he says, although we said earlier, if you the one who holds the arava together with the lulav, he's in violation of bal tosif. The Mechaber says it's a mistake. Mikom okom in hefsed lochish l'dvorov. But nevertheless, you're not losing by following that opinion. Even after we've waved the lulav, you should take the arov by itself. To understand that there's a chiyuv to take it. I mean, it's a minute, but it's a chovo. And when we bang it, you should take by itself. Let's see the Mishna Berura. Let's see, Zion. Achaninu harishon. You take it after you wave it the first time. Hatam. The kaimelon shlo bezmanu shel mitzvah in over al bal tosif. Achichavi losef la mitzvah. V'ochekem she'over mitzvoso. Havi shlo bezmanu. He already was yotzei the mitzvah. So unless you have in mind that you want to add it to the mitzvah of lulav, v'al Lo kivin lo hosiv hala mitzvahs lulav ki mishul lekichas harova. Tosu beinai. So the Mechaber says he feels it's a mistake. Who also she does post leil sim interpretation with him. The harova hadas mosif kol ma sheyutza. I mean, if you're able to add as many hadasim or arovas as you want, so why should be harova? Why should it be in violation of Baltosif if you're holding the harova, the hoshana, when you take the lulav, right? It's not possible to be in violation of Baltosif. But he says, but eventually you take the arov by itself. Lak shichova, to understand that this is the obligation. Kamo shekosa b'sifei mitam ze eino nitel sel b'fnei atzma. Okay. Chofei. Ramo. V'amidig poshut lito la'rovi malulov b'shachris b'shasei neinua. He says, but what's the minog? You take the arova with the lulav when you wave the lulav. Shas hakofa achas chavota. Even though there's not our minog, right? We don't hold the hoshana when we take the lulav. Only when we go around the bima. But it's not from the time that you're holding the lulav during Halil. You're not holding the arovas, the hoshana. Shas hakofa achas chavota. He says, Minu posher litol arovim alulav b'shachris b'shas haninua u'b'shas hakofa achas chavota. Notla rova levadav yostov shlo litlo imalul klal. He says, but it's best not to take it with lulav whatsoever. Af hanotla malulav nearly lach shehikiv yose alulav miyodo. And he says, even if you take it with the lulav, but after you've made the hakofos, yose alulav miyodo v'yechos arova, you should put that lulav down and just hold on to your arova. Shemoshana sheosin levad. These are the hoshanas. When you say the hoshanas, you wave it, and then you hit it to the ground or on the kli. Let's see. B'shas hakofo, hatam migut k'tei lotzis kol deir siyesh omrim the makif v'lulav yeshom makif ma'arova p'yostov sholitlo im alulav k'dei shkaim shleimus mitzvos netilas harova v'nal b'sifei v'gam arizal hizemo shel lechaber harova im alulav. You shouldn't attach it. Ulach shikiv yose alulav miyodu rotzlobat lo kamo she'osa alulav ma'arova achas chavoto. Zman aminu kamo shkosur amoshe notel arova im alulav klal. Right? We don't take the arova with the lulav whatsoever. But when you do the hakofos, we're not holding the arova. At the end, we only take the Oshana when we put the lulav down at the end. You don't hold both together. Okay? That's the minog. No. Nanu means you go like this. Like this you go. No, 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 no. Yeah, right. Right before you read the siddur, you go like this. As you should, during while you're saying at the end, after you've said gone around 7 times, you go like this, and eventually you hit it to the ground or on the kli 5 times. Okay. Some say that Oshano Shebelulav. We're talking about the arova in the lulav. Although it's been cast away, you should not step on it. That's the Oshana Shebelulav. Hu adin arova shel Hoshano. And lezalzable. You shouldn't abuse it. Al simin chafal rotzol madvur shom sif alif, because it's what? It's tashmish mitzvah. We discussed this yesterday. What? No, he's not saying that. He's not saying that. Where do you see that? He's not saying that. Talking about stepping on it. Stepping on it. After you take the arava out of the lulav, are you permitted to step on it? You cast it aside, right? You should. Today you should not. That he says, the Mishna Berura says, even the Hoshana, the arava in the lulav, that's a mitzvah. The Hoshana is not a mitzvah. It's a minhag. But it's a semi-mitzvah. So he says, even that you should not. Because we hold tashmishim mitzvah, you're not permitted to abuse. Tes yesh mishom shos lehoros min arova la'achan tiloso im lohisno ole me'ekoro l'kul yom iskatzoy l'mitzvoso. That since, unless you had a precondition that it only retains its status to be used that one time, otherwise it's considered huktzah, it's designated for mitzvah throughout till the end of the day itself. He says people, they put away the oshanas to use it for fuel to bake the matzah. Matzah itself, we burn it with the chametz. That's what people do with the oshanas. Hisno leo ay mogravrom shebfakvid lav kuliyam hani tuno omnam elirab metaritz divrei shulchan aruch biraloch biarnu kuliyam hani bezet tenai an shaborach. We'll see the biralocha. Meikora ay biralocha. Seems to be from the Ramah. Right, that people clearly would leave those shamas in shul. Right, because and not everybody baked matzah. If everybody baked matzah, most people would be eating chametz. You have to be an expert to make matzah, because he says nogu latzni oshanos lafias matzos. They put it away until you make matzah. That means it was used for the fuel, to fuel the oven. It's clear people did not take it home; they just left it in shul. And the shamas, he would gather it together, and he'd put it away till Pesach to make matzah with it, or whenever they would make the matzah. Okay, let's do the next halacha. Esrog osur. When we finish with Esrog, we'll go back to Be'aloch. Esrog osur lechol b'shvi. After you yotzu with Esrog on the 7th day of Sukkot, you're not permitted to eat it on the day itself. Esrog b'shvi osur sharei huktzah l'chol shiva. Right, because it was designated for mitzvah for all 7 days. V'afil nifsa ach she'osur bo mitzvah. Even if it becomes invalidated. Osur kol shivas yomim. Why? Because initially it was designated to be used for that. Ub'shmini atzer smuter. Chutzlot she'osur b'shnei yomim tovim. Chutzlot, we have 2 days. Shel golius osur af b'shmini. See, this is a little difficult. right? Less mandapolik. Right? We don't take the lulav on the esrog on Shmini Atzeres. So if that's the case, so why? You understand? 7 days I understand. The days that I will utilize for a mitzvah, I'm designated to be used as a mitzvah. So therefore, even though it becomes possible on the second day, the subsequent days you can't use it. Because initially it was designated to use the mitzvah all 7 days. And even the seventh day, it's the whole 7 day. But the eighth day you definitely was never intended ever to use it. We never take the lulav or the esrog on the eighth day. It's not similar to the sukkah. The sukkah Tosa says, because if you have to eat a suda ben hashmoshos, you would eat it in the sukkah because it's suffik doraisa, right? But in terms of the esrog, it's suffik drabanan. It's only drabanan. You don't take the lulav ben hashmoshos, right? There's Tosas in Beyo, sukkah. It's called muktzah miyamachs miyom she'over. The reason why a person negates it because he's not sure if the previous day was over. That's we don't say kivin diskatsoy ben hashmoshos, right? We rule 2 days Yom Tov, nolda b'zu, materis b'zu. It's later on the first day, you're not permitted on the second day. So Tosas explains, but when the ben hashmoshos of the second day starts, it's off limits to you. Correct? So Mar says no. That's called muktzah machshim shava. Why don't you benefit from ben hashmoshos? Because you're concerned it's still being be the previous day. You're following, Alec? You're sleeping. Okay, gotta get drink some coffee. Are you drinking tea? Herbal tea. Herbal. Okay. Umuta b'shvi afil chol lios bechel b'Shabbos yish osrim chol lios bechel b'Shabbos. Let's see the Mishna Berura. Esrog b'shvi afil lach shenasis bo mitzvos also b'achilo v'ayil kam leil sim tov reish nun gimel chol shiva fishil yom echod. Whatever he says, I will use the esrog only on the first day sukkahs. He has 7 esrogim. Each day he designates an esrog for each day. Eno also el yom echod b'varar alaylo apish meaning. Du sveket shvi. Hine atas helo dim nifsal yishloka b'shmini korban san cholakolov chaim kosa b'chedushari haritva lahachmir. Okay? I don't understand why it should be muktzah. We have a concept if something is designated for a mitzvah, like the decorations of sukkah. If you designate them, then until after Yom Tov's over, you cannot use those decorations for anything but for the sukkah. Because it was set aside specifically for the sukkah. So if an esrog was set aside to be used as an esrog for 7 days, every day, even after you yotze on the 7th day, you can't use it any longer. Because once it was designated for the day, it's off limits for that day itself. Because that mitzvah could have been performed any time during that day. So he says, so what happens when it comes to Shmini Atzeres? The Mechaber says, on Shmini Atzeres, in Chutz Loretz, also you're not permitted. Because it's Svekar Yoma. So I'm asking. But in Chutz Loretz, we don't take the esrog on Shmini Atzeres. So why should... Good, so... So good, sir. I'm asking you, so why the esrog factually you don't use on Shmini Atzeres. So why should muktzah on Shmini Atzeres? The whole idea is because it's been designated to be used for the mitzvah. Right. I'm not going to use it. No question. If you designate it for 1 day, it's that day, not the next day. So if I designate for the 7th day means the 7th day, not the 8th day. So factually, it's not going to be used for the mitzvah on the 8th day. Why should it be hooked till a mitzvah? It's not hooked till a mitzvah. That's the question. You can. Because it's either one of the. But I mean, here the question is even stronger. Because the egg, you're not sure which day it is the day. Okay. Here, no question. Initially, I know factually on the 8th day I will not use this esrog for the mitzvah. If the basis for the muktzah is only because it's been designated for the mitzvah, on the 8th day it will not be used for the mitzvah. Is it going to be used for the mitzvah on the 8th day? But again, But what's the concept? Huxlemitzvah doesn't mean like something you want to use a hammer. I'm not talking about that. It's because it's designated for its usage. If I designate something for one day, an esrog for one day, could you eat it on the second day? The answer is yes. Why? Because it wasn't designated for the second day. Initially, when you designate the esrog to be used, how many days are you going to use this esrog? 7 days or 8 days? So on Shmini, you definitely, initially, you're not going to use it on Shmini Atzeres. So it was never designated for the 8th day. So why can't I eat it on the 8th day? It was never designated to be used for a mitzvah on the 8th day. That's my question. But factually, why is it different? If I had 7 esrogim, 7 esrogim, I designate 1 for day 1, 2 for day 2. The first one, could I use it, eat it on day 2? Yes. Because it was never designated to be used on the second day. So I'm saying, so over here, if initially when he designated for 7 days, it's like I have 7 esrogim. So the 7th esrog I designate to be used, it's not a yom harichta. It's not a yom harichta. If you'd say the 8th day is an extension of the 7th day, is one thing. It's not a yom harichta. To be used 7 times for 7 days. To fulfill the mitzvah. To fulfill the mitzvah. The base of the muktzah is because it's... If you have 7 days, right? If you have a 7 esrog, the esrog on the 3rd day, could you eat it on the 4th day or on the 5th day? See, I'm limiting. It's not a. Again, it's not a yom harichta. If you tell me the 8th day is yom harichta, here, the 8th day is an extension of the 7th day. But factually, when the 7th day is over, the 7th day is over. And factually, it has no relevance to the 8th day. Doesn't make a difference. Why? Shouldn't make a difference. Why? Why should that make a difference?
Where you can still celebrate it.
I hear what you're saying, but you know, to me it's only words. What you're saying are words. You know, you're repeating the words in the mechaber. So. No, because it's Sveika the Yoma, because you have to conduct yourself like it was the time of the Beis Hamikdash. So therefore, no, because there it's being utilized for the mitzvah. It's being utilized for the mitzvah on the 8th day. That's a suffix d'oraisa. Lulav is a suffix d'rabbanan. Hoshana Rabbah is what? Day before. Now the 8th day may be the 7th day, but we don't take the lulav on the. We sit in the sukkah on the 8th day. Maybe Hoshana Rabbah, correct. But do we take the lulav on the esrog on the 7th day? On the 8th day, no. We don't. But we don't. Because it would be a contradiction. And since it's only rabbinical, the Chazal say don't take it. They tell you not to take it. So factually, they tell you not to take it. Take it for 7 days and not the 8th day. You would have to take it. Correct. Correct. For the same, as you said, in the sukkah on the 8th day. No, that's all rabbinical. Whatever it is. Right, but whatever it is. But the lulav, then, you would have to take it. You would have to take it. But again, since it's only rabbinical, we don't. But the sukkah, which is the oraisa, we do send the sukkah on Shmini Atzeres for that reason. Okay.